Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Zinga White. I am the Executive Director of Building Transformations. Today, we will be having a special presentation called Blueprints of the Future, Advancing Infrastructure with Digital Technology. Before we begin, I'd like to share a couple of details about who we are and what we do. Building Transformations is a North American member-driven organization. Our vision is transforming the built environment through innovation. Our mission is fostering a community that is committed to knowledge sharing and advancing technology and innovation in the built environment. We support our members all across North America with some special guests from around the world. And we have a number of different programs and activities that we run. We have our events, our certification program, our think tanks, our awards program, our publications, and our career job site. Our community is growing strong. We have over 2,000 members, including over 150 member companies. If you're not following us already on LinkedIn, please do so. And we have hundreds of hours of content on our YouTube that you can take a look at some of the thought leadership that we've been sharing over the last decade. And you can also join us if you're not already a member. We have individual memberships, or if your organization is already a member, you can join for free as an affiliate member. Please visit our website for more details about the benefits of membership. One special announcement is that we recently launched our 10th Innovation Spotlight publication, which is available both in print and online. So please take a look at our website and order a copy for your office to learn about some of the latest innovations in our industry. Along with today's event, we have a number of great events scheduled for the rest of this year and into next year. I want to make sure that you join us for our upcoming in-person and virtual events. We have some in-person events happening in Toronto and Calgary this summer. First, we have our networking event with PropTech Collective in June in Toronto. And we also have an event coming up in Calgary in the summer, likely in June, and we'll give you some more dates on that shortly. Finally, I want to share that we're having our industry summit in October in Toronto, which will include tours, executive presentations, technical sessions, and our annual Innovation Spotlight Awards. So please make sure you join us for that. Registration will be opening shortly, as well as a call for presentations for speakers. Finally, I'd like to thank our mission partners who support the work of Building Transformations year over year. Special thanks to PCL, our strategic partner, and especially Bentley, who's our platinum partner, who's hosting the session today. So I want to thank all of our partners for all of their contributions. As we begin our session today, I'd like to thank Bentley for their support, and we'll be welcoming a presentation from Daniel Galle, who's the Director of Infrastructure Policy Advancement. He's going to be sharing a presentation on the blueprints of the future, along with some really insightful examples. And he'll be online as well after to answer Q&A. So please make sure you use the chat if you have any questions that come up during the presentation, and I'd be happy to facilitate that Q&A after the presentation. So enjoy, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes for the Q&A.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I jump in, I first off want to thank Building Transformations for the opportunity to present to you all today. My name is Daniel Galle. I'm the Director of Infrastructure Policy Advancement at Bentley Systems, based in Toronto, Canada. I'm part of the Infrastructure Policy Advancement team at Bentley. We're a team of 7 individuals globally dispersed with the goal of driving the adoption of digital transformation and data-driven leadership. Our team partners with stakeholders across the finance, insurance, industry associations, and government to transform infrastructure policy. Today, I will be speaking about Bentley Systems. We are an infrastructure engineering software company that makes products to advance the world's infrastructure, sustaining both the global economy and the environment. Our software solutions are used for the design, construction, and operation of roads, bridges, rail, transit, water, public works, and utilities. My role at Bentley is focused on promoting and expanding innovative solutions within the infrastructure sector and demonstrating the economic and environmental advantages of digital infrastructure within the government and industry networks and across the private sector. The opportunity. Infrastructure is essential. It impacts every facet of our lives. It connects us all, supporting our society and economy, from sustainable cities to safe roads to reliable energy and clean water. Infrastructure professionals are essential. Infrastructure would not exist without the team of designers, engineers, builders, and other professionals that make infrastructure possible. These professionals are currently under pressure. As many flock to urban centers around the world, there is an increased emphasis on the speed and cost effectiveness of infrastructure projects. With increasing project complexity, costs, and risk, rising data and workflow fragmentation, and evolving resources constraint, infrastructure professionals are under pressure across all industries. A bit of background about Bentley before we jump in. Around the world, infrastructure professionals rely on Bentley software to help them design, build, and operate better, more resilient infrastructure for transportation, water, energy, cities, and more. Bentley was founded in 1984 by engineers for engineers. We have become a trusted partner of choice for engineering firms and owner-operators and governments worldwide. Our software solution spans engineering disciplines, industry sectors, and all phases of the infrastructure lifecycle. Through our digital twin solutions, we are helping infrastructure professionals unlock the value of their data to transform project delivery and asset performance. Our innovative technology advances the world's infrastructure, sustaining the global economy. We have been in operations for over 40 years with over 5,200 colleagues in over 40 countries, with accounts in 194 countries. Throughout our 40-year history, Bentley has continued to invest in R&D and is committed to helping achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We are a truly global organization with headquarters in the United States, Europe, and Asia, supporting users around the world, including our satellite offices in almost every single continent worldwide. Born during the rise of computer-assisted drafting, or CAD, our history reflects the digital evolution of our sector, from 2D drafting to infrastructure digital twins to present day. Throughout our journey over the past 40 years, Bentley has developed and acquired numerous applications and offerings to better serve the unique challenges facing engineers and our society writ large. Our users span across the entire infrastructure lifecycle, from planning and design into construction, through to operations and maintenance, and eventually into renewal or decommissioning. Our suite of software offerings are designed to assist both engineers and owner and operators, from individual practitioners to entire enterprise organizations. And in this slide, we can see a few of the services that we offer in between each of the project life cycles. So for example, you'll see modeling and visualization under planning and design, all through to stress tests and analysis. Moving into construction, we have 4D construction modeling, our advanced work packaging through system completion. And then finally, in owner operation, we have asset reliability, asset lifecycle information management through to operational analytics. Bentley supports infrastructure professionals across the world. Our 4 verticals include transportation, water, energy, and cities. For transportation, our focuses rely on sustainable transport networks to ensure asset performance and service reliabilities. Our main focuses are roads and bridges, rail and transit projects, and tunnels. Our water program is focused on delivering resilient water and wastewater systems to improve the quality of life, and they include water and wastewater networks, treatment plants, and dams. Our energy sector our energy vertical is focused on supporting the global energy transition, creating more sustainable and reliable energy ecosystems to power global communities and reduce climate impacts. Our vertical is focused on energy production, delivery, and energy consumption. Our cities program is focused on making urban growth smarter and sustainable, connecting data and stakeholders to create smarter cities and support urban growth and to serve local communities. Our cities program is focused on cities, industrial campuses, academic university campuses, airports, and ports. In our alignment with the UN SDGs, our offering continues to support mobility, environment, and then the grid sector of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Empowering SDGs will be one of our most strategic priorities for the next decade. Infrastructure assets require extraordinary adaptation to help reduce carbon emissions and make our cities and communities more resilient. The infrastructure that we will have in 2030 mostly exists today. An infrastructure digital twin solution will be an essential catalyst for transforming infrastructure performance into the future. At Bentley, our objective is to help our users drive that transformation through our product portfolio applied in key infrastructure sectors and across the infrastructure lifecycle. Bit of background on our technology, specifically digital twins is what I'll be focusing on today. Again, we're seeing infrastructure currently being affected by increased growth, particularly the concentration in global urban centers. Increased cost complexity, costs and risk of projects have increased dramatically, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic. Rising data and workflow fragmentation across all industry players, and the evolving resource constraint and work culture. So resource constraint is specifically focused around skilled trades and skilled and workforce development presently and into the future. So digital twins are focused on achieving or mitigating some of those current issues. The definition of a digital twin is a virtual representation of a physical object, system, or process. It serves as a digital counterpart, enabling real-time monitoring, simulation, and analysis. By integrating data collected from sensors, IoT devices, and other sources, a digital twin provides insight into how the physical entity performs and behaves under certain conditions. They are widely used in a range of industries, such as manufacturing, healthcare, urban planning, energy, to optimize performance, improve decision-making, and predict outcomes. An infrastructure digital twin is a way to connect data and systems, streamlining processes and workflows, improving collaboration, reducing cost over time to make better decisions. The integration of generative AI has been a big focus for Bentley over the past few years. Our vision is focused on enabling infrastructure professionals to put their skills and experience to the greatest use, focused on high-value work. Our systems currently allow full control over data and the decision if it is used to train AI models. Areas that could benefit from AI adoption include site design, construction processes, facilities, structural defects, and detection. I'll be going into a few case studies that are paired against some of our focus verticals on transportation, cities, and energy. Our first case study is advancing wastewater treatment to help relieve a multi-year drought. So this project is located in the United States. The Echo Water Project is owned and operated by the Sacramento Regional Community Sanitation. The Sacramento Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant near Elk Grove, California, treats wastewater for 1.6 million people throughout the Sacramento County and West Sacramento region. The region began exploring various strategies to upgrade their existing infrastructure to perform cutting-edge treatment processes to deliver safer and more reliable water. Known as Echo Water, The project evolved into a decade-long facility expansion to improve water quality, alleviate ecological issues, and provide some relief to California's drought-ridden agricultural industry. The challenge was to manage 22 integrated construction projects at the same time. The Sacramento Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant wanted to mitigate interruptions and keep them at a minimum throughout the construction of this project. By generating a digital twin for situational awareness, construction sequencing, and cost control monitoring, the project was able to save over $400 million on project controls and save taxpayers $500 million annually. The project currently has the capacity to treat 135 million gallons of wastewater. This is an excellent example on how a digital twin was implemented to save taxpayer money and improve cost efficiency of this project. The second example in Colorado sought to alleviate severe bottlenecks for better and safer travel. Colorado's interstate mountain corridor leads to some of the state's most popular recreational destinations and serves as a main east-west thoroughfare for long-haul trucks transporting goods across the region. To enhance safety and mobility along the notoriously congested and treacherous highway stretch, the Department of Transportation in Colorado sought to upgrade an 8-mile stretch of road. Upon completion, the $750 million project sought to address severe bottlenecks, improving traffic flow as well as access at major interchanges and frontage roads intersections. The challenge was improved safety and mobility along the congested and treacherous stretch of interstate for the Colorado Department of Transportation. The challenge was to enhance safety and mobility along this busy 8-mile stretch. The action taken: using 3D models, connected data, and a digital twin to overcome design challenges. Atkins, one of the project proponents, established a connected data environment using open modeling, a digital twin, and 3D visualization applications, with construction estimated to be completed in 2028. Currently, the project has realized savings in over 50,000 work hours as a result of its digital adoption and $7 million in project costs to date. Utilizing a connected data environment to host over 11,000 files, streamlining coordination has also saved $750,000 so far. Our city's case study is focused on the Singapore project, so enhancing urban planning and sustainability across the island nation of Singapore. As Singapore grows and develops, the island nation wanted to ensure it effectively uses its land and space resources effectively. The Singapore Land Authority sought to map the entire nation, creating an accurate, reliable, and consistent national 3D map that supports all government agencies. SLA knew that conventional methods would not be effective, and mobile mapping data collected for all of Singapore's public streets amounted to over 25 terabytes of data. The challenge: rapidly conduct aerial survey across Singapore to support better land use and resource management. SLA generated the Singapore Digital Twin, bridging data sharing with multiple users via cloud-based resources. The Singapore Digital Twin was especially important during the COVID-19 pandemic, allowing users from different agencies to discuss a specific site without even having to meet in person. The action taken: the SLA leveraged 3D mapping to generate a nationwide digital twin and improve data sharing across all government agencies. The result: the Singapore Land Use Authority's use of rapid mobile mapping saved over 26 million in 1 year in capturing and processing time, compared to traditional mapping methods. The Singapore Digital Twin increased data availability by 50%, enabling accurate information extraction and delivering a sustainable collaborative digital twin that can be used for multiple planning processes across the island nation. The Singapore case study is an excellent example of a city's use case. Singapore is on the leading edge of digital twin adoption, and this is just one of the examples of the many case studies Singapore has in terms of their digitalization strategy over the past 15 years. Our energy case study is focused on expanding reliable power while minimizing the carbon footprint. This project, located in Cameroon, the Galle project, spans several regions in Cameroon where 55% of the population currently live in poverty and grid connectivity is very limited. Power supply is unreliable, and the project intended to expand the country's electricity network. The plan was to build two 250 kilovolt single circuit transmission lines and supporting substations. Upon completion, the new infrastructure will enhance grid connectivity and improve regional access to a sustainable power supply. It will promote industrialization, economic growth, and better quality of life while reducing environmental impact. The challenge: extend the energy grid to remote areas, provide cleaner hydroelectric power across the region. The action taken: created a digital twin for transmission line layout, design, and analysis, as well as project management processes. The result: reduced carbon emission by over 415 megatons per month, while improving economic opportunities and quality of life. Digital technology has not only contributed to operational improvements and financial savings, but also resulted in ESG improvements for the country of Singapore, poverty reduction, and widespread environmental benefits for the region. Infrastructure Policy Advancement Team. The IPA team, which I'm currently part of, is a global team of 7 across the United States, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. We help to position Bentley as a leader in infrastructure policy advancement, helping shape and advance the global narrative on digital transformation and infrastructure. We analyze trends, collaborate with industry, and create strategic communication and partnerships to help shape policies, frameworks, and incentives that lift the digital infrastructure industry as a whole. We do this through white papers, thought leadership, in collaboration with industry associations, government, and the private sector. Our stakeholder engagement work is focused on the delivery of events called the Transforming Infrastructure Performance Summit, which is our global flagship event, which has been held in London, Singapore, Melbourne, Toronto, and soon to be in New York next month. We also have a Global Twin Talk series, which is currently being rolled out across the UK, Canada, Australia, and the United States. Our TIP Summit has become a pivotal industry event, attracting professionals dedicated to rethinking the future of infrastructure delivery and performance. The TIP Summit is organized in partnership with the Institute of Civil Engineers and Bentley Systems, serving as a platform where global best practices meet actionable insights, promoting collaboration among stakeholders from government agencies, private enterprises, and technology providers. Our next summit will be held in New York City on May 22nd and later on this year in Canada. I would like to thank Building Transformations for the opportunity to present to you all today and look forward to any questions you may have about Bentley or the work the IPA team currently conducts globally. Thank you and have a great day.
That was a great presentation. Thanks, Daniel. So now is time for our question and answer period. So please feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'm going to bring Daniel back up, and we're going to get to the questions. So let me just take a quick look to see if we have any questions. Feel free to put your questions in the chat, and we will get right to them. Thanks, Daniel, for your presentation, and thanks for taking the time to be part of your session today.
Thanks, and again, it's great to be here.
Great. Okay, so let's me take a look. I'll give it a couple seconds for individuals to put their questions in the chat, but while we're doing that, I just have a question for you. So what are some of the most promising digital technologies that are currently reshaping infrastructure planning and delivery from your perspective in Bentley?
So I think, as was the case with BIM technology 20 years ago, digital twins are now reshaping how infrastructure is designed, constructed, and operated. So as infrastructure professionals are facing huge volumes of data, as well as managing constant dynamic changes, we're overwhelmed as professionals in the industry, both at the project delivery and through the operations phase. So unlocking the value of digital twins to help support the decision making that the technology provides enables infrastructure professionals to make better decisions, to be more efficient with their time. So that includes the adoption of artificial intelligence into the digital twins. Again, it's through the entire infrastructure lifecycle, project assessment, networking systems, and at the enterprise level. So I think digital twins are the most promising, and looking into the future, I think they will have the most impact on how we design, deliver infrastructure in the future.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, digital twin is something that's a really important topic that we've been discussing. So looking forward to seeing how that all evolves. I have another question for you, and everyone feel free to put your questions in the chat. From Bentley's perspective, so how does your software contribute to climate resilient infrastructure planning? We're looking at flood-prone areas or high-risk areas. What is your software doing to contribute to that infrastructure planning?
Yeah, so no, it's a great question, and digital twins represent it's a tool that has applicability across a range of areas, particularly climate resilience. So a digital twin supports flood resilience planning. It helps with the ongoing management and operations for city infrastructure. It helps by visually communicating actionable information, helps stakeholders make more informed decision prior to construction, so prior to the costly design and the construction efforts. So we're able to visually identify any impediments and impacts before shovels really hit the ground. And digital twins represent a golden opportunity for cities to optimize the performance of municipal infrastructure assets by taking proactive steps in preventing or preparing for flood resilience planning. A digital twin is essentially the virtual representation of that physical asset. So by identifying these risks before construction is done, we're able to mitigate a lot of issues rather than going backwards as we have in the past. So we see it as an essential tool to really be proactive and to help mitigate flooding, which the city I'm in Toronto, and flooding is the biggest issue that the city is currently facing. I know the biggest infrastructure project the city is working on right now is the Don River flooding, to prevent that massive backup that we currently have anytime we get a major downpour. The lower level of the Don Valley Parkway is currently flooded. And I'm sitting in a neighborhood where a massive trunk water sewer project is underway, and it's a 3-year project to help prevent basement floodings. So implementing digital technologies is a way that we can avoid these costly major infrastructure projects in the future.
Yeah, that's really important, and I think I'm just outside of Toronto, and I know flooding is an issue not only in our area but a lot of other areas. And as we face different climate risks, it's really important to leverage that technology. So I'm really glad that your software is contributing to that. And moving on to another question, let's talk about like urbanization. So how are your solutions helping cities adapt to rapid urbanization and population pressures? A lot of cities are growing quite quickly, and how do we address that with your solutions?
Yeah, for sure. So cities is one of our 4 main verticals. So one of our 4 focus areas. And our solutions really cover the entire infrastructure lifecycle. Again, from planning public transit projects, offering software that covers planning and traffic simulations all the way through the operations phase. So, think of it as developing the Ontario line. It's a major project that's happening right now in Toronto. from the onset of planning that project, digital twins and infrastructure digital technology is being utilized on that project. But even I can give a good example that's happening in the MTA. They're currently using Android phones to monitor track rail conditions. So they actually have phones that they've deployed and attached to subway cars to monitor track conditions. And they do this by audio identification. So they have, through the support of AI and an individual that listens to the recordings, and it helps identify any track deficiencies or problems. So that's another way digital infrastructure is being used in a public transit settings. And what that does is helps from the productivity side. I mean, you don't have to physically walk the tracks to identify any deficiencies or defects. The other side is it helps closures. So it prevents any subway closures during peak hours and during the day when people are actually working. Not everybody works throughout the night, and 24-hour systems such as the New York City Transit, it really mitigates any closures there. So there's a range of technology that's being identified that technology that Bentley has, and then other technology in the market, such as the Android phone example that I had given.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah, that's a great example, and yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's a great project that I think is really innovative. So appreciate you sharing that. And I'll just make a note for those that are tuning in. We do have some resources that were in the chat about the examples that were provided in the presentation. So click those links before you exit today to find out more information about the cases that Daniel was sharing today. I'm going to move on to another question. So among the case studies that you presented, are there any particular lessons or innovations that could be applied broadly across different geographies that you can share with the audience today?
Yeah, so I think, thinking about our case studies that I had spoken about, they cover all the verticals that we really cover. But I think from the digital side, I think the improvement in productivity and efficiency is one of the ways that we can really highlight the benefits of using a digital twin, using BIM technology, and any really digital solution. The productivity gains are massive. So, any country, whether developed or developing country, we're currently facing a skill shortage, skill shortage and productivity issues in our country. I know that's something Canada is currently facing. So I think that really is a key element in helping us achieve some of these major bottlenecks, whether it be delay in construction, improving the efficiency at the planning stage through the operations phase. I think implementing digital technology is really a necessity. It's not a nice to have. It's something that we really need to have on every single project that we currently do across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that at Building Transformations we're really passionate about. So I appreciate your comments there. And kind of related to the project side of it. So funding is a major barrier for a lot of infrastructure projects. So how can digital tools improve areas like cost estimation, risk reduction, long-term ROI, those kind of things? So as we have like funding challenges.
Yeah, no, really important question, and I think that's something that's on the top of minds for everybody involved in our industry. A great example, I'm actually running a small session next week on this, and it's exploring the connection between digital infrastructure and insurability of infrastructure assets. So that's something that municipalities are currently facing in Canada. So in Canada, around the world, really, in any infrastructure asset is the struggle to get insurance. I think the stat out of the US is something like 40% of infrastructure assets are not insured adequately. And that's covering from a cybersecurity risk. It's coming from a climate resilience perspective. So I think this is a major digital infrastructure can play a major role in helping to de-risk these projects. So if, for example, we implement a digital twin or any technology that helps us identify any climate resilience risk for a transit project, or even something simple as a school, if it's on a floodplain, for example, just having the ability to visualize that before it's being constructed and help mitigate any of those risks. I think that's a key area where these digital solutions can provide really, really good value.
Absolutely. That's great. Okay, so we're running out of time. However, I wanted to get to a couple more questions. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll bring them up. Talking about the economic side of it. So, can you elaborate too on how digital infrastructure can balance both the economic development and the environmental sustainability? So balancing those two using digital infrastructure.
Yeah, so I think the last case study that I talked about in Cameroon is a great example of that. So, the project really was to tackle improve the connection and improve grid technology in an area that was underserved, and then B, to mitigate the massive pollution that the current grid is currently emitting in the region. So I think that the Cameroon example is a great example from a developing country, because digital solutions are not only reserved for developed countries. I mean, these solutions are most impactful in developing countries. And in a previous role of mine at the Global Infrastructure Hub, we were working with a lot of developing countries and helping them translate these solutions that the UK and the US have been adopting, and how they can do it. And they're really not as cost prohibitive as many people believe. I mean, the example of Cameroon was something very, I don't want to diminish it, but it was a simpler project to adopt. And just that adoption of improving the grid technology and changing it over to hydroelectricity had massive impacts, massive environmental impacts, and massive economic impacts. I mean, it opened up the grid for a massive population to really connect them to secure and stable power.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think the adoption is not as hard as it might be. So I appreciate that, and lots of applicability across different jurisdictions for that. So I appreciate that. One last question, and then we will start to wrap it up. So what are some policy or regulatory shifts that need, talking about adoption, that need to happen to accelerate adoption of digital infrastructure practices from your perspective?
So I think using, and part of the IPA team, which I sit on, is our team really takes global best practices and helps make it applicable to our local geographic region. So, I think looking at the UK, who has been very ahead of the curve with the adoption of a BIM mandate, for example, years ago, and now having digital twins baked into some of their infrastructure projects, I think that's an area where Canada needs to get to. We can also learn from the US because they've been at the forefront on the adoption of this digital technology. So countries like Canada and Australia are further behind the curve. And I think working with government, working with industry associations such as yourselves, we have that opportunity to help, showcase and provide governments the ability to really see the benefits of adopting digital technology. So I think working with industry, working with the private sector, and working with governments have the ability to be really, really impactful or approach for us to help make digital twins and any digital technology more widely adopted across Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of our members are really passionate about those shifts in policy, and we at Building Transformations want to support those changes and those conversations. So thanks for being part of that. And as we wrap up, I just want to pass it over to you, Daniel, if you had any final comments, anything you want to share from Bentley as we wrap up. And just a reminder to everyone, we will have a recording available for this event if you want to watch any parts that you missed. Also, the resources are in the chat, so take a look at those, save those on your in your bookmarks to take a look further. So Daniel, I'll pass on to you for any final comments.
No, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure to present. I do want to encourage everyone to check out our website. It's infrastructurepolicyadvancement.com. We have a range of events that we host throughout the year. We have a Twin Talk series, which is a global series that we have in London, Toronto, New York, Washington, Sydney. And that's just continuing to grow. And then we have our flagship summit. It's called the Transforming Infrastructure Performance Summit. Our next summit will be held in New York City on May 22nd. And then our summit in Canada will be on October 8th. So stay tuned for more information on that. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, ask any questions. Love to get involved with any of you that are interested in driving forward digital innovation across the infrastructure sector. So thanks.
Thanks so much, Daniel, and thanks everyone for tuning in. We have a number of other virtual and in-person events coming up throughout the rest of the year. Our next virtual event is happening on May 28th, so make sure you register for that, about building tech skills to boost tech adoption with AI. So thanks again for everyone for tuning in. I will see you the next time, and we look forward to having you at our next Building Transformations event. Take care.
Thank you.